So what we are suggesting, as you begin to make the conscious transfer, where the dominant part of you in your human body, in your physical perspective, as you are deciphering this time-space reality, if you will make it your dominant intention to be forward feeling rather than current looking, you will find that you will bridge that gap between what you've asked for and what's manifested in record time. There is so much leverage in alignment. And there is little leverage in banging around in physical things and trying to make things happen through your physical behavior. When Esther awakened this morning, she was delighted that she had a whole extra hour. Ooh, the luxury of that. And she said to us, could you arrange one of those every day? How far off the calendar would we get if every day we just took an extra hour and never gave them back? Let's just every day take an extra hour. And we said to Esther, as she playfully laid there and contemplated the sweetness of an extra free hour to have her way with, we said, when you get into the vortex, you get a leverage of time that is far more than that extra hour that you are benefiting now. When you get into the vortex where you are a cooperative component to all of the other cooperative components, when your impulse to place that telephone call comes when the person is sitting there in the mindset to receive it in the way you want them to receive it, that's leverage. When your impulse to pull in your cords and get onto the highway in your big monster bus, when the impulse comes and you follow it and you enter the traffic as it flows rather than as it stalls, you have leverage of time. When you don't hesitate in the moment that would be the right moment and instead you move forward, when you have the gift of alignment, there is a time leverage that cannot be defined in your physical senses, because time is perceptual. And when you are in alignment and therefore vibrating in harmony as a cooperative component to others that the universe has already lined up for you. You see, when you ask for something, in that pure asking, even though you may not be pure in your thinking, your asking is, your inner being stands there, and law of attraction has already brought all cooperative components to the complete fruition of what you've asked for. Your solution is present tense complete in the vibrational reality that we are speaking of. We are not kidding you at all. And when you practice the vibration of alignment, when you care about how you feel, when being in this vortex matters to you more than all other things put together, now you have good timing. Now your perception is altered. Jerry said yesterday as they were walking back to their suite, after the first hour that we were together with those who joined us here yesterday, I was in a time warp, he said, because the material that was given and the notes that I took and the stars that I made and the interest that I felt and the intentions that erupted within me to go back and listen to it and the amount of information that was received felt like 10 hours of information given in that hour. That's leverage. That's leverage. When you're in the vortex,
go to the vortex.
You hear what we say. When you're not in the vortex, there's not enough time to get you to hear.
In the vortex is you.
Not enough words in the world. Not enough examples in the world.
So this question
the vortex is your key to way more than an extra hour every day.
How do I?
We're eager to talk with you
and we say, well, the
anything
first
that
thing
has
has already
already
been
been accomplished.
It is our
If you
powerful
accept
intent to
the reality of this vibrational reality, if you accept the reality of it, and you are willing to understand yourself in relationship to it, then you can tell by the way you feel whether in any moment, which is where all your power is right now, right now, right now, right now. In other words, you wake up 7 hours later, and even though the clock said a different time than it did at the same time yesterday, it was still now. Now. Even though you're awake and on the other side of the world they may be asleep, it's still now. Now is this juncture where you meet you. It's where the blending, better or not so good, the allowing of the blending or the resisting of the blending is happening. So if in this powerful now You are aware of the existence of this vibrational reality. And because you are aware of how you feel, of your relationship to it, now you're on the path of deliberate creating. So now let's just back that up a little bit and say it in a more precise way. So this vibrational reality includes all that I've become. And me, the thinker who's asking these questions right now, is standing in some vibrational proximity to it. And I'm doing my best not to think of myself as the haver and the doer and the person and the personality and the relative to someone else. I'm doing my best to let my feeling of relativity be to who I've become in relationship or comparison to who I'm letting myself be right now. So I am keenly aware of the way I feel. Now, those are really good words. Keenly aware of the way I feel. So let's talk about some feelings you might be having. If I'm keenly aware of the way I feel, now my guidance system is alive, and now and only now my guidance system is perceived consciously by me. And now and only now do I have the ability to move in the direction of who I really am. So as you stand here in your physical now and you reach for feelings, and let's, for just a moment, let's separate something that's happened. In other words, somebody didn't come and say something to you. Something didn't just happen. You're just being in a moment. You're just being the juncture of you and you in a moment. And let's say right now you feel bored. Bored. You feel bored. Just feel bored. Sort of just lethargic, disinterested, bored. So now, if you've decided to do what you're asking to do in your question, then that awareness of that boredom is really key, because that means whatever it is I've been thinking really recently, in the last minute, what I've been pondering is off from the way Source sees this moment. So I was thinking how I don't really like where I am, or I was thinking that it's sort of a dreary day, or I was thinking that I'm not really happy with this restaurant I'm eating in, or in other words, you can pinpoint every time the feeling with the thought that caused the alignment or not. So then, as we began today, rather than just accepting the feeling, you say, I'm going to be forward feeling. Okay. Because I haven't been forward feeling just now. I was taking it as it came. I was reactively feeling. I was responding. I wasn't proactively feeling. I wasn't deliberately feeling. I was responding. So now you say, I'm going to feel my way forward. And so feeling forward means I love the feeling of interest. I love feeling myself feel eager about things. I love the feeling of clicking. I love the feeling of resonance. I love the feeling of enthusiasm. I love the feeling of passion. I love the feeling of. So just now, you were forward feeling. Now let's say you're just having a moment, a reactive moment, because you weren't deliberately thinking, and you can't deliberately think every moment. In other words, it's just not normal. So you're having a reactive moment, and the reactive moment, you feel anger. And you feel it, and you acknowledge that you feel anger, and then you acknowledge that the feeling of anger is because of a thought you were just thinking, and then you identify the thought you were thinking. And the thought you were thinking was, this person with whom I am co-creating was not honoring the agreement that I thought we had in place. This person is self-interested and not keeping the agreement, not doing what we agreed. And I'm having a reactive, emotional response. But I want to be forward feeling. And when my awareness of that happened, I launched an equivalent solution. So I like the feeling of, now you're forward feeling, I like the feeling of co-creation working. I like the feeling of harmony. I love the feeling of respect. I love the feeling of things working out. I love the feeling of win-win. I love the feeling of cooperation. I love the feeling of communication. I love the feeling of mutual minds working together and coming up with even better ideas. I like the idea of benefit all the way around. Forward feeling. You see what we're getting at? So now you're having a moment, a reactive moment. A child just bounced through your campground with her little ponytail flying and her little shoes lighting up and a smile on her face, and your heart is just singing. You're having a reactive moment. And you stop and you think, I'm having a reactive moment. What am I reacting to? Well, I'm reacting to my thought of that joyful child. And now I want to be even more forward thinking. That child could bounce like that her whole life. All children of the world could feel that way. It is so exhilarating to see the richness of life. What an incredible planet we live on, where we have the benefit of this stability. What a magnificent campground this is, that keeps itself open and ready for business and beautiful. Look at the flowers and all of the fall decorations and all of the playground equipment and all of the things that just enhance the lives of these little kids. Look at the horseshoe throwing place, and look at the baseball diamond, and look at the duck pond, and look at this magnificent place that is so. And just milk it, just milk this moment. I love my life. I love my world. I love that child. I love my body. I love this moment. I love this life. I love my life. I love that child's life. I love that child's parents. I love that child's sister on that bicycle. I love that dog. I am. You see what we're getting at? In other words, you're just actively feeling forward, always feeling forward, receiving the benefit of the larger part of you that already went there and feels that way. But when you feel forward to it, you find it. In other words, you as humans, you're so naturally empathetic. But you're empathetic in all the wrong places. I feel for you, man. You're singing my song. You want to be forward feeling, you see. And as you're forward feeling, you come into alignment with who you are. Yeah. We have enjoyed this interaction immensely. We can feel that we have convinced you of the existence of your vibrational reality. And we've done our best today to help you to feel the importance of your vibrational reality so that it may supersede your former feeling of importance of your reality. In other words, we think that it has been a pretty convincing conversation that your vibrational reality exists, and that as you turn your attention in the direction of it, you will come into the completion of who you are, which will give you the immediate benefit of feeling good. And then you have the exhilarating experience of now watching manifestations take form around it. We want you to have all of the things that you want. We want the material aspects of your life to frame up for you. We want you to have the money and the cars and the relationships and all of the physical state of beings. We want all of that stuff for you that you call the physical reflections or manifestations of your time-space reality. We want that for you. But more than that, we want for you to experience the sublime, delicious, intoxicating, addictive feeling of coming into full concert with who you are as you then watch all of those material things manifest around you. We're not for a moment trying to talk you out of the manifestation of the stuff you want. We just want to convince you that what you really want is to fill that emptiness by filling you up with the wholeness of who you are.